All right, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're ditching the beaches and heading straight for the heart of Cyprus, Nicosia.
Yeah, we often hear about the island's coastline, but Nicosia, the capital, well, it's got its own story to tell.
And a fascinating one at that.
Absolutely. We've dug into a bunch of traveler reviews, expert opinions, you name it, and it paints a picture of a city that's, well, it's really one of a kind.
Definitely, and that's what we're here to uncover, right?
Exactly. We want to give you the need to know, those must-sees, those kind of hidden gems of Nicosia, whether you're actually planning a trip or, just curious about this historic crossroads.
A little armchair travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're spot on about the variety. You've got ancient walls standing right next to modern architecture, plus vibrant cultural experiences, and even a chance to, tap into local passions, things like sports. It's all there.
Sounds like a pretty packed deep dive. Where should we even start?
Good question.
I mean, for me, you got to start with the history, right? And when it comes to Nicosia, that means the Venetian walls.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The Venetian walls, those aren't just some old rocks piled up. I mean, they have a real story to tell.
They do. I was reading they were built in the 16th century,
And
right?
a complete rebuild during a pretty intense time.
Yeah.
The Venetian-Ottoman War. It really shows you how important strategically Nicosia was back then.
And they're huge, GE. I mean, we're talking about a wall that stretches for about 3 miles, almost 5 kilometers, with 11 of these, pentagonal bastions.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget the orolons.
The what?
Orolons, those rounded projections you see on the bastions.
Oh, right. I always wondered what those were for.
Super smart design, actually. They were all about defense. Gave defenders a way to shoot at attackers coming from the sides, flanking fire. Plus, it protected the bastion itself from cannon fire.
Clever. So it wasn't just about building a big, intimidating wall. There was real thought put into it.
Oh, definitely. It was all about tactics. 16th century military engineering at its finest.
Fascinating. So we can't walk the entire wall, right?
Not the whole thing, no. But there's a fantastic stretch on the eastern side, from Ravelin Bastion to Cambulet Bastion.
Okay, so you can actually walk along the top of the wall there.
Yep, exactly. It's an incredible experience. You're literally walking in the footsteps of history with amazing views of the city, how it's grown up around these old walls.
Wow. A real step back in time.
Yeah, but with a view of the present, too.
I like that. So speaking of the present, let's fast forward a few centuries and talk about Eleftheria Square. This is the complete opposite of the Venetian walls, right?
Totally. It's a really modern public space designed by Zaha Hadid, an amazing architect. It's got this really fluid design, almost organic, with an upper-level bridge, fountains, places to sit and relax, even trees integrated right into the design. It's pretty striking.
Sounds like it. So it's more than just a pretty space, though, right? It has a purpose.
Oh, definitely. It's become the heart of Nicosia, the main gathering place, the largest public square in the city. It's designed to host events, festivals, all sorts of celebrations.
I bet it's buzzing with activity.
Oh, it is. And the locals have really embraced it. You'll see people just hanging out, meeting friends, taking pictures, just enjoying the atmosphere. It shows how important these urban spaces are for building community.
Especially during the holidays, right?
Oh, yeah, especially then.
Yeah.
Around Christmas, Eleftheria Square is the place to be. They decorate it all up. There's often live music. Market stalls pop up selling crafts, food, everything. It's really festive.
Sounds amazing. So from being right in the thick of things to getting a bird's eye view, our next stop has got to be the Chacolas Tower Observatory.
Ah, yes. Ledras Tower. The best spot for a panorama of Nicosia.
And a little history lesson, too, I hear.
You heard right. The tower itself has a story. Built back in 1959, it was the tallest building in Nicosia for almost 20 years.
So what, you just take an elevator up and bam, you're at the top?
Well, the observation deck is on the 11th floor, but there's also a small museum up there. Photos and descriptions of old Nicosia. Really puts what you're seeing into perspective.
Yep.
Oh, and they have telescopes and binoculars up there, too, if you want to zoom in on things.
So for a couple of euros, you get history and a view.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's open every day, too.
Yeah.
Which is great for travelers.
Always a plus. Okay, back to street level now. Let's talk about another piece of Nicosia's past, Famagusta Gate.
Famagusta Gate, yeah. That's another direct link to those Venetian walls. And it's the best preserved of the 3 original gates into the old city.
What's it like? I'm picturing a big stone archway.
Kinda. It's a tall stone wall with a domed roof. The passageways through it are actually quite narrow, though. just wide enough for two vehicles to pass, apparently.
Interesting. So it's seen a lot of changes over the years.
It has. The Ottomans restored it in 1821,
Mm.
and they even added a lookout, I guess, because they were worried about a Greek revolt. So yeah, it's been through a lot.
It sounds like a must-see, but is there much to do there, or is it more of a look and appreciate kind of thing?
Honestly, it's more about soaking in the history and snapping some pics, a beautiful reminder of the city's past.
Gotcha. A landmark, not a whole afternoon activity.
Right, but a very cool landmark.
Agreed. Now, if you really want to dive deep into history, the Cyprus Museum sounds like the place to be.
Oh, absolutely. If you're a history buff, or even just curious about Cyprus's past, the Cyprus Museum is a must. It's the oldest and largest archaeological museum on the whole island.
And it's got a ton of stuff, right?
A ton. Over 40,000 objects, covering everything from prehistory to the Roman era. Most of it comes from excavations all over Cyprus. Each piece is like a window into the past,
Wow, that's amazing.
You'll see everything from ancient pottery to statues to these incredibly important figurines. The Aphrodite of Soloe statue is breathtaking, and the idol of Pomos. It's this tiny prehistoric figurine, but so significant. It's truly remarkable.
Sounds like a treasure trove. And the museum's open pretty much every day, which is good to know. Okay, so we've covered history. Let's switch gears to something a bit more modern. Football. I hear Nicosia's got a pretty successful team.
Oh, yeah, they do. Apol FC. If you want to experience local sports culture, catching one of their matches is the way to go. They've won a ton of championships, 29 league titles, and 21 domestic cups.
Wow, they're like the powerhouse of Cypriot football?
Exactly. And get this, they're the only Cypriot team to ever reach the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's huge. So where do they play?
Their home stadium is the GSP Stadium in southern Nicosia. Holds almost 23,000 fans. Can you imagine the energy in that stadium?
Must be electric. So how easy is it to get tickets?
Easiest way is through their website. You might have to create an account, but it's worth it. Their matches are usually on Saturdays and Sundays, sometimes Thursdays. It all depends on the schedule, so check their fixture list beforehand.
Good advice. Now, after all that excitement, maybe it's time for some peace and quiet. Athalassa National Forest Park sounds like just the place.
Athalassa is perfect for that. It's like a breath of fresh air right outside the city center. This huge park, over 2,000 acres, with tons of greenery, beautiful lakes, and walking trails.
So you can actually hike there.
Oh, yeah. There's a popular trail called, it's called the Athalassa National Forest Park Trail. Very original, I know.
Well, it gets the point across.
It does. It's about 3.8 miles or 6 kilometers. A nice circular route around the southwestern part of the park. Great views, very peaceful.
Sounds lovely.
Plus, if you've got kids, they've got play areas, and the lakes are great for spotting wildlife, ducks, fish, even turtles.
A nice family day out.
Definitely.
All right. Now, for those who prefer retail therapy over nature walks, Nicosia's got a pretty big mall, right?
It does. The Mall of Cyprus in southern Nicosia. If shopping's your thing, that's the place to be. You'll find all the big brands there. Adidas, Calvin Klein, Swarovski, you name it.
It's a proper mall then, not just a few shops.
Yeah, it's got everything. Cinema, arcade, even rides for the little ones. And of course, tons of places to eat too, from fast food to nice cafes.
So it's a whole experience.
It is, and it's open pretty much every day, so you can easily fit it into your trip.
Very convenient. Now, for a more authentic shopping experience, I hear the Central Municipal Market is the place to be.
Yeah, the Central Municipal Market, or the Market of the Old Town Hall. That's where you really get a taste of local life. It's mostly a fruit and vegetable market, right in the spot where the Old Town Hall used to be.
Sounds lively.
Oh, it is, especially on Saturdays. It's packed with local farmers and producers selling their stuff. You can find fresh bread, cheeses, meats, even those lovely herbal teas.
So it's a feast for the senses then.
Totally. Even if you don't buy anything, it's worth a visit just to experience the atmosphere.
I can imagine. Now, for something a little different, Nicosia has a motorcycle museum.
It does. The Cyprus Classic Motorcycle Museum up in northern Nicosia. It's actually a really cool spot, even if you're not a big motorcycle enthusiast.
How many bikes are we talking?
Over 450. They've got motorcycles from 1914 to 1983, all in amazing condition.
Wow, that's a lot of bikes.
I know, right? They've got everything from vintage bikes to military motorcycles from World War II, even bikes used by Archbishop Macario's Presidential Guard. It's fascinating.
Sounds like it. And the museum's open almost every day, which is good to know. Okay, we can't talk about Nicosia without mentioning the Green Line. I understand there are guided tours that focus on this, right?
Definitely. The Green Line is a big part of Nicosia's story, and a guided tour is a really good way to learn about it.
For those who don't know, what exactly is the Green Line?
It's a demilitarized zone that's divided the Turkish and Greek Cypriot communities for decades. It runs right through the city, and it's more than just a line on a map, you know? It's had a real impact on people's lives.
So what do these tours typically cover?
They usually take you to key spots along the line, abandoned buildings, military checkpoints, parts of the old Venetian walls that are now part of the buffer zone. Some tours even let you sample local coffee in areas right by the Green Line so you get a taste of everyday life there.
Wow, that's really interesting.
One of the most important landmarks you'll see is the Ledra Palace Hotel. It's this grand old building that's become a symbol of the city's division.
Sounds like a powerful experience. All right, so we've explored the history, the culture, the unique situation with the Green Line. Time to relax, right?
Absolutely. And Nikodia's got a perfect spot for that. Hammam Omre.
What's that?
It's an Ottoman hammam, a traditional bathhouse. They've got hot and cold pools, steam rooms, the whole works. It's a great way to unwind and experience a bit of local culture.
Sounds heavenly.
It was originally built in the 16th century after the Ottoman conquest, and it's been beautifully restored. You can get a traditional hammam bath, a massage, even try cupping therapy. It's a truly relaxing experience.
So it seems like Nicosia is full of contrasts. Ancient history and modern life, vibrant culture and the somber reality of the Green Line. It's definitely a city that has something for everyone.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? How cities evolve, how they carry their past with them, how different cultures and communities try to coexist.
It does. Nicosia is a great example of that. So to our listeners, think about this. What does Nicosia tell us about how cities change and adapt over time? What other hidden stories might be waiting to be discovered in places we think we know?
Lots to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Nicosia.
It's been a pleasure.